Alex walked down the metallic streets of Nova Prime Colony, the twin suns of the planet painting the skyline in golden and orange hues. The city was alive with drones buzzing overhead, hover vehicles gliding silently between buildings, and neon lights flickering in the markets. Despite the futuristic chaos, Alex felt a calm excitement bubbling inside him. Today, he was going to surprise Mara. Mara wasn't just his girlfriend. She was a brilliant young scientist working in the colony's research sector. Her projects were rumored to be so advanced that even some of the senior researchers didn't fully understand them. Alex, a talented engineer himself, admired her curiosity and determination. He also secretly hoped this surprise visit would earn him more than just a smile. He wanted to prove that he belonged in her adventurous world. Alex adjusted his satchel and hurried along the skywalks, passing towers that stretched higher than he could see. The streets below hummed with energy fields and hover cars, but Alex didn't notice. His mind was on Mara, her laughter, her stubbornness, and how she always challenged him to think bigger. Finally, he arrived at her home. A sleek building, made of reflective alloys that shimmered in the sunlight. Taking a deep breath, he pressed the door panel. A moment later, the door slid open with a soft hiss. Standing there was Mara's mother, Commander Celine. Her presence was commanding, even in the relaxed uniform she wore at home. Alex had met her only a few times, and each time he felt like he was in the presence of someone legendary. Celine was a decorated officer in the colony's defense fleet, known for her sharp mind and unmatched strategic skills. "Alex," she said, her voice calm but firm. "We need to talk." Alex blinked. He had expected Mara, not her mother. And, "We need to talk," never sounded like a good start. Okay?" he stammered, trying to mask the sudden nervousness in his voice. Celine's eyes, sharp as ever, scanned him for a moment. "Come inside. Quickly." Alex followed her through the gleaming hallway. The interior of the house was a mix of warmth and high-tech elegance. Holographic panels projected star maps, and small robotic helpers floated around, cleaning or adjusting lights. Alex's eyes were drawn to a large display in the living room showing the colony's sectors in real time. Something didn't feel right. Before he could ask any questions, alarms blared through the house. Red lights flashed across the panels, and a robotic voice announced, "Alert! Unauthorized spacecraft approaching. Sector 7. Under threat." Alex's heart skipped a beat. "What's happening?" he asked, panic creeping into his voice. Celine moved quickly, her calm demeanor turning into focused action. "Aliens. They're attacking. You need to stay close." Alex felt his knees go weak. Aliens? Attacking Nova Prime? He had read about distant alien species in history books, but he never imagined facing one. And here it was real, dangerous, and heading straight for the colony. Celine led him to a hidden room behind the living room. Inside, the walls were lined with equipment he could only recognize from simulations he had seen at the university. There were control panels, holographic maps, and a large device covered by a metallic cloth. "This is Mara's lab," Celine said. "And this," she lifted the cloth, revealing a sleek, glowing prototype, "is what they're after." Alex's eyes widened. This is incredible. But what does it do?" Celine didn't answer immediately. Instead, she looked at him with a mixture of urgency and trust. "It's a human advancement project. Something that could change how we generate energy and protect colonies. But if it falls into the wrong hands..." She didn't need to finish the sentence. The threat was clear. Before Alex could react, the house shook violently. The walls groaned, and a sharp vibration ran through the floors. Through the reinforced windows, he saw small alien ships descending from the sky, firing beams that left scorch marks on the streets. Civilians screamed and ran in all directions. "We don't have much time," Celine said. The perimeter defenses can hold them for a few minutes, but they'll break through if we stay here. 9. Alex swallowed hard. He was just an engineer, not a soldier. But as he looked at the prototype, he realized that he might be the only one who could help protect it. Mara's inventions were brilliant, but Alex knew one flaw in its design that, if adjusted, could make it almost invincible. I can help, he said, trying to sound confident. I think I know a way to stabilize the prototype against their energy beams. Celine studied him for a moment. Then, for the first time, she smiled a small, approving curve of her lips. Good. We'll need every human brain we have. Come on. We have to move. They rushed through hidden corridors, Celine leading the way. Alex noticed holographic blueprints of escape routes, emergency defense systems, and communication networks projected on the walls. Mara's home was not just a house, it was a command center. As they exited to the rear, a small squad of drones hovered around, ready to escort them. Alex's heart raced. He had never been in a real-life situation like this. Everything he had learned in simulations and classrooms suddenly became vital knowledge. Outside, the city was chaos. Alien ships hovered above, firing beams that sliced through buildings. Citizens ran for shelters or hid behind protective barriers. Amid the fear, Alex saw something amazing. Humans were organizing themselves, forming small defense groups, using clever traps, and cooperating with drones. The aliens were strong, but humans were smarter, more adaptable. Celine gestured to a nearby vehicle, a sleek hovercar with reinforced armor. We'll get to the lab. That's where Mara is working. She's crucial to this defense. Alex nodded, gripping the edge of the hovercar. Right. Let's go. The vehicle shot forward, gliding over cracked streets and debris. Alien scouts fired intermittently, but the hovercar's shields absorbed most of the damage. Alex's mind raced, thinking of adjustments he could make to the prototype to make it nearly untouchable. They arrived at Mara's lab, a separate building fortified like a bunker. Mara was already there, surrounded by her equipment, her hair slightly disheveled but her eyes sharp and focused. Alex, she exclaimed, relief and surprise mixing in her voice. I didn't expect you here. I'm not just here to see you, he said, trying to hide the fear in his voice. We need to save this, and everyone outside. Mara studied him for a moment, then smiled. I think we'll make a good team. Celine nodded from the doorway. We have only minutes. The aliens will adapt quickly. Alex, you handle the prototype adjustments. Mara, coordinate the defense grid. I'll lead the countermeasures outside. Alex took a deep breath. The responsibility was enormous, but he felt a surge of determination. Humans had faced impossible odds before, and now it was his turn to contribute. As the first alien ship landed nearby, the lab doors sealed automatically. Inside, Alex studied the prototype, realizing the flaw he had noticed months ago could be corrected with a small adjustment. His hands shook slightly as he worked, but every movement was precise. Outside, Mara and Celine coordinated drones and defense turrets, holding off the alien scouts. The sounds of battle energy blasts, alarms, and distant explosions echoed through the city. But inside, Alex focused on the task at hand. This was the moment when human ingenuity mattered most. And Alex was ready to prove that humans, even when outnumbered and outgunned, could adapt, survive, and triumph. The lab doors sealed behind them with a loud metallic thud. Inside, the room was dimly lit by the glow of holographic displays, showing maps of the city, approaching alien ships, and the location of defense turrets. Alex's heart raced. But his mind was already working through the adjustments the prototype needed. Mara moved quickly between the panels, her fingers flying over holographic controls. We don't have much time, she said. Their ships are scanning for our energy sources. If they find the prototype, they'll destroy it before we can even react. Alex swallowed hard and looked at Celine, Why are they after this? It's just a research device, right? Celine's expression turned serious. Not just a research device. It's one of the most advanced human inventions in this sector. It can generate immense amounts of energy while creating a protective shield around entire cities. If it falls into the wrong hands, they could destroy every human colony in the system. Alex's eyes widened. He had known the project was important, but he hadn't realized how much danger it carried. And the aliens? They already know about it? Celine nodded. They must have detected the energy signature from your lab. They're organized, intelligent, and ruthless. We've seen them before on the outer colonies, but this is the first time they've come this close to a populated human city. We need to act fast. Mara glanced at Alex, a mix of concern and trust in her eyes. I think you can help, she said softly. You understand the engineering side better than anyone. If we can stabilize the prototype, we can use it to defend the city. To mine. Alex took a deep breath. He had always admired Mara's brilliance, but now he realized he had to step up. Okay, he said. Show me the design. I'll see what I can do. Celine stepped aside as Mara brought up the holographic display of the prototype. It hovered in the air, glowing with soft blue light, intricate circuits and components spinning and adjusting automatically. Alex studied it carefully, tracing the lines of energy flow in his mind. There's a weak point here, he said, pointing to a small module near the core. If we reinforce this, it will handle their energy attacks. I can modify the controls, so it adapts in real time to their weapons. Mara nodded. That's brilliant, but it will take time to implement, and we don't have much. Alex set to work, his hands moving with practiced precision. Holographic tools floated around him as he adjusted circuits, reprogrammed energy flow patterns, and reinforced the core. Mara assisted, feeding him data and calculations while Celine coordinated communications with defense teams outside. Minutes passed like hours. The distant sounds of battle grew louder. Energy blasts hitting buildings, alarms blaring across the city. Every now and then, a shadow crossed the lab windows as alien scouts passed overhead. Alex didn't flinch. He focused on the task at hand, knowing that human ingenuity could outsmart even the most advanced alien technology. Suddenly, a loud explosion shook the building. The lab's emergency lights flickered red. Alex stumbled, but quickly regained his balance. Through the reinforced windows, he saw a group of alien scouts attempting to breach the perimeter. Celine's voice came over the comm panel. Alex, how long? Almost there, he shouted. Just a few more adjustments, and the prototype will stabilize. Mara worked beside him, her eyes scanning the holographic displays. We're ready to activate the shield as soon as it's done. Alex, trust me, your modifications will work. Alex nodded, feeling a surge of determination. Humans had always faced impossible odds, and now it was their turn. He tightened the last connection, ran a diagnostic, and activated the core. A soft hum filled the lab, and the prototype's glow intensified. Outside, the alien scouts paused, sensing the change. Then, energy shields projected from the prototype expanded outward, forming a protective barrier around the city sector. Alien energy blasts struck the shield but bounced harmlessly away, leaving the city below untouched. Alex and Mara exchanged a triumphant glance. It worked, Mara exclaimed. You did it, Alex. Celine smiled, her eyes gleaming with pride. Humans are capable of amazing things when we work together. This is why I trust you with this mission. But the celebration was short-lived. A new alert flashed on the holographic displays. Larger alien ships were approaching from orbit, their movements coordinated and precise. The scouts had been a test, this was the real attack. Celine turned to Alex and Mara. We've only bought ourselves time. The main fleet is stronger and smarter. We need to think beyond defense. We need a strategy to counterattack. Alex's mind raced. He knew the city's defense turrets could hold for a while, but not against a full fleet. If we can use the prototype to manipulate energy fields, maybe we can create traps for them, he suggested. We could guide their ships into zones where our defenses are strongest. Mara's eyes lit up. Yes! We can combine the prototype's shields with the drone network. We can create corridors of controlled energy to channel them where we want. Celine nodded. It's risky, but it's our best chance. Humans are clever, Alex. We may not have their technology, but we have something they don't: adaptability and ingenuity. Alex felt a rush of pride. Humans, he realized, were never the strongest or the fastest. But when pushed to the edge, they could think in ways no alien AI could predict. The next few minutes were a blur of preparation. Mara coordinated drones, turrets, and energy fields. Alex adjusted the prototype in real time, creating channels of energy that could guide the alien fleet. Celine communicated with the city's defense teams, directing them to key positions. Outside, the first wave of larger alien ships descended. They fired beams that would have torn through ordinary shields, but the prototype's energy corridors deflected their attacks. The aliens tried to adapt, but the humans were always one step ahead, adjusting their traps in real time. Alex watched, amazed at how humans could turn desperation into brilliance. Civilians operated drones, engineers repaired damaged turrets, and Mara's guidance kept everyone coordinated. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, humans were resourceful. Suddenly, one of the alien ships broke formation and attempted to bypass the energy corridor. Alex acted instinctively, rerouting the prototype's energy flow to block its path. The ship collided with the energy barrier, its systems disrupted, and it spiraled out of control before retreating. Mara clapped him on the shoulder. See? Humans never give up. We adapt. We survive. Celine nodded. And sometimes, we win against impossible odds. As the immediate threat subsided, Alex realized that this battle was only the beginning. The aliens were intelligent, organized, and relentless. But humans had something they didn't: creativity, courage, and the ability to work together. Celine placed a hand on Alex's shoulder. You've proven yourself today, but remember, this is far from over. The aliens will return, and when they do, we'll need every mind, every skill, and every ounce of courage we have. Alex nodded, feeling a mix of fear and determination. He had stepped into a world far bigger than he had ever imagined, but he was ready. Humans had faced impossible challenges before, and now it was their turn again. Mara smiled at him, her eyes shining with trust and admiration. We're in this together, she said. All of us. Alex took a deep breath, looking out at the city and the protective shield glowing around it. He felt a deep sense of pride. Humans were not the strongest, not the fastest, but when they worked together, they were unstoppable. And today, they had shown it. The city streets were a chaos of movement, lights, and sound. Alien ships hovered above, scanning for any sign of the humans' advanced technology. Energy beams cut through buildings, leaving scorch marks and smoke in their wake. Yet, despite the chaos, humans were not panicking. They were organized, determined, and ready to fight back. Alex, Mara, and Celine had barely left the lab when alarms rang across the city. The alien scouts had detected their presence, and a squad of small, fast attack ships descended toward them. Move! Celine shouted, grabbing Alex's arm. We need to get to the hangar. Our escape vehicles are there, but it's going to be dangerous. Alex nodded, adrenaline surging through his veins. He had never been part of a real combat situation, but now, survival was all that mattered. He looked at Mara, who nodded back, her eyes firm with determination. Together, they ran. The streets below were filled with civilians, some running, some helping others escape. Hovercars and drones moved in coordinated patterns, guiding people to safety. Alex couldn't help but marvel at the human ability to stay organized under pressure. Even in the face of an unknown alien threat, humans were not just surviving, they were fighting back. They rounded a corner and saw the first wave of alien scouts approaching. Their sleek ships moved with precision, scanning for any human resistance. Celine activated a small device on her wrist, and a holographic map projected in front of them, showing escape routes and potential ambush points. "Alex, Mara," Celine said, her voice calm but urgent. "We'll need to use the cloaking field in this alley to evade them. But it only lasts a short time, so be ready to move fast." Alex's stomach tightened. Cloaking technology had always seemed like science fiction to him, but now it was real, and their survival depended on it. Celine activated the device. A shimmering blue field enveloped the three of them, and suddenly, they became almost invisible to the alien scanners. They moved swiftly down the alley, dodging debris and falling signs. The cloaking field flickered, reminding them that it wouldn't last long. Halfway through, a small alien scout ship appeared at the alley entrance. It scanned the area, its lights sweeping back and forth. Alex held his breath, trying to steady his nerves. Mara whispered, "We can do this. Just a little further." The ship's sensors passed over them without noticing. Celine led them out of the alley, just as the cloaking field faded. "Good," she said. "Now, to the hangar. Stay close." The hangar was a few blocks away, but getting there was no easy task. Alien scouts moved in coordinated patterns, their weapons firing at anything that moved. Civilians and defense drones created distractions, but Alex knew it would not be enough to get them safely inside. "Alex," Mara shouted, "there's a small energy gate here. It can launch us over the main street, straight to the hangar, but it's unstable. And well, they said well, also, wearing said and, just designs, and well, wearing said." Alex glanced at the shimmering portal. Energy fluctuated wildly across its surface. If they miscalculated, it could collapse entirely. Yet, hesitation was not an option. "Let's do it," he said. Celine nodded, and together they jumped through the energy gate. A surge of light enveloped them, and the city blurred around their vision. They landed safely on the other side, just as the gate collapsed behind them. "Nice work," Mara said, her voice filled with relief. "Now, one more stretch." As they approached the hangar, they saw it was already under attack. Alien scouts had surrounded the perimeter, firing energy beams and trying to disable the vehicles inside. Celine's expression hardened. "We'll have to improvise. Alex, your skills might save us yet." Alex nodded, understanding immediately. The hangar had several automated defense drones, but they were not yet fully activated. He quickly accessed the control panel and began rerouting power from the shields to the drones, boosting their speed and targeting systems. Mara coordinated with him, guiding the drones to intercept alien scouts. The machines moved with precision, creating a defensive wall as Alex continued his work. Energy blasts struck the drones, sending sparks flying. But human ingenuity kept them operational. Outside, the alien scouts realized they were being countered and regrouped for another attack. Celine activated the hangar's energy barriers, temporarily blocking their advance. "That should give us a chance to start the engines," she said. Alex wiped sweat from his forehead and ran to the nearest hovercraft. Its engines were damaged in the initial attacks. Using his engineering skills, he quickly assessed the problem and began making emergency repairs. Mara assisted, handing him tools and relaying system diagnostics. "Almost done," Alex muttered, tightening the final circuits. The hovercraft hummed to life, its engines glowing with a blue light. Celine climbed in first, taking the pilot's seat, while Mara and Alex secured themselves inside. "Hold on," Celine said, and the hovercraft shot forward, lifting above the burning streets. Alien scouts fired at them, but the combination of the energy barriers and Alex's modifications allowed them to dodge the attacks with surprising agility. As they soared above the city, Alex realized how dangerous their situation was. They had escaped the immediate threat, but the aliens were intelligent, organized, and relentless. Yet, despite the fear, he felt something he had never experienced before: pride. Humans were not the strongest in the galaxy, but they were clever, resourceful, and brave. The hovercraft approached the outskirts of the city, where the terrain became rugged and uneven. Celine adjusted their course, using the hills and canyons as cover. Alex and Mara watched the city shrink below them, glowing under the protective shields they had helped defend. "Look at them," Mara said softly, pointing to the city. "People are still fighting. They're not giving up." Alex nodded. "We may be just 3 of them, but humans. We never back down. That's what makes us different." Suddenly, the hovercraft's sensors picked up another threat. A larger alien vessel was descending from orbit, faster and more heavily armed than the previous scouts. Celine's face hardened. "They've brought reinforcements. We need to keep moving, or they'll cut us off." Alex looked at the landscape below, searching for a place to hide or make a stand. His mind raced. The canyon network nearby could provide temporary cover, and if they timed it right, they could funnel the alien vessel into a trap using the terrain. "Take the canyon route," Alex suggested. "We can use the walls to block their sensors and create blind spots." Celine nodded and adjusted their course. The hovercraft plunged into the canyon, weaving between cliffs and rocky outcrops. Alien energy beams cut through the walls, sending sparks and rocks flying. But the narrow path made it difficult for the larger vessel to follow. Inside the hovercraft, Alex and Mara worked together, monitoring the alien ship's movements. "We need to buy more time," Mara said. "If we can get to the northern ridge, the prototype's drones can set up an ambush." Alex nodded. "I can recalibrate the prototype remotely. If we time it right, we can trap the alien vessel in an energy corridor. It won't know what hit it." Celine's voice was calm but firm. "Do it. Human ingenuity is our greatest weapon." As the hovercraft neared the northern ridge, Alex accessed the prototype's control panel via his portable device. He adjusted energy flows, creating channels of force that could guide the alien ship into the ambush zone. Mara coordinated with the drones, moving them into position. Outside, the alien vessel approached, unaware of the trap being prepared. Alex felt a surge of determination. Humans might not be the strongest, but they were adaptable. They could think, plan, and act faster than the aliens expected. The hovercraft positioned itself perfectly. Alex activated the energy corridors, and the alien vessel, chasing them relentlessly, was funneled into the narrow zone. Drones fired precise energy bursts, hitting the ship's weak points. The alien vessel shuddered, then spun out of control, retreating from the ambush. Celine exhaled deeply. "Good work. That should give us a moment to regroup." Alex looked at Mara and Celine, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "We did it. Together." Mara smiled. "Humans never give up. That's what makes us special." Celine nodded. "And today, your courage and ingenuity saved lives. But remember, the war is far from over. The aliens will return, and next time, they'll be prepared for us." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility but also pride. Humans were resourceful, brave, and creative. No matter the odds, they could survive and even thrive in the face of the unknown. As the hovercraft continued along the canyon path, the trio looked ahead, knowing that their journey was just beginning. The city was safe for now, but the larger alien threat loomed in the distance. And humans, guided by courage and ingenuity, would be ready. The northern ridge offered a clear view of the battlefield below. The city, once a bright hub of life, was now a patchwork of smoke, shattered buildings, and glowing energy shields. Despite the destruction, humans moved with purpose, organizing, strategizing, and refusing to yield. Alex, Mara, and Celine stood on the edge of a rocky outcrop, watching alien ships regroup in the distance. The prototype's drones hovered around them, waiting for instructions. Alex wiped sweat from his forehead and surveyed the situation. The aliens had been temporarily repelled, but the main fleet would return. Stronger and more coordinated. "We can't just wait for them to come to us," Celine said. Her voice was firm and commanding. "We need to strike back, and we need to strike smart." Mara nodded. "We can use the prototype to control the energy fields in the city. If we guide the drones and the defense turrets, we can create corridors to channel their ships into traps. It's risky, but it's our best chance." Alex's eyes lit up. "I can help with that. The prototype can generate adjustable energy streams. If we calibrate them correctly, we can lead the alien fleet into positions where our drones and turrets are most effective." Celine gave a sharp nod. "Then we move quickly. Time is critical." The trio descended into the city's outskirts, careful to avoid patrols of alien scouts. Alex worked with Mara to recalibrate the prototype, creating energy corridors that shimmered faintly in the air, invisible to the aliens, but fully functional. Mara directed the drones, placing them in strategic positions to intercept enemy ships. Celine coordinated with human defense squads, giving orders with precision. "Drones ready," Mara said. "Energy corridors set. Turrets aligned." Alex took a deep breath. "Let's turn their strength against them." From the ridge, they watched the alien fleet descend. Ships moved in tight formations, their weapons ready. The corridors of energy Alex had created glowed faintly as the aliens entered the designated zones. Confused by the channel's unusual energy signatures, the alien ships adjusted course, unknowingly funneling themselves into traps. The drones moved like shadows, striking with precision. Energy bursts hit the alien hulls, disrupting their shields and engines. Explosions lit the sky as the alien ships struggled to regain control. The humans on the ground cheered as their defense systems performed flawlessly. "This is amazing," Alex said, watching the alien fleet falter. "Our strategy is working," Mara smiled. "Humans never back down. We adapt. We fight smarter." Celine nodded, but her expression remained serious. "Don't get overconfident. This is only the first wave. They'll try to adapt, and if we make mistakes, the city could fall." Alex understood. The victory was temporary, but it showed something important. Humans were capable of thinking faster, adjusting strategies, and using creativity to overcome a stronger enemy. As the battle continued, a large alien vessel broke formation and moved directly toward the prototype's location. Its size and firepower dwarfed the drones and turrets. Mara's eyes widened. "We need to handle this one differently." "Alex, can the prototype create a focused energy trap?" Alex nodded. "Yes, but I'll need precise timing. If I'm off by even a second, it could fail." Celine's eyes hardened. "Do it. We have no choice." Alex concentrated, adjusting the prototype's energy output. Streams of force converged, forming a corridor designed specifically for the large alien ship. The vessel, attempting to bypass the human defenses, entered the corridor unaware of the trap. Mara's drones moved in sync with the corridor, firing precise energy bursts at weak points on the ship's hull. Sparks flew, engines faltered, and the alien vessel was forced to retreat. The humans cheered, but there was no time to celebrate. The main fleet was still out there, regrouping. Selene looked at the sky, her eyes scanning for incoming threats. "They'll try a coordinated strike next. We need to be ready." Alex wiped his hands and checked the prototype. "We can set up another trap, but we'll need more support. The drones alone won't be enough." Mara thought for a moment. "We can use civilians, engineers, pilots, anyone with experience. If we coordinate them with the prototype and drones, we can multiply our effectiveness." Celine smiled faintly. "That's human ingenuity. Turn numbers into advantage, even against superior technology." They quickly organized a human strike team, combining civilians, engineers, and pilots with the drones and turrets. Each person had a specific role, and Alex guided them on how to work with the prototype's energy corridors. The humans were focused, determined, and ready to fight back. When the next wave of alien ships arrived, they were met with a coordinated counterattack. The energy corridors guided them into zones where turrets fired from hidden positions. Drones struck from multiple angles, and humans on the ground used clever tactics to confuse and delay the attackers. Alex watched in awe as humans worked together seamlessly. The aliens were strong, fast, and smart, but humans were unpredictable. Creativity, courage, and cooperation allowed them to turn the tide of battle. One alien ship attempted a direct strike on the prototype. Alex immediately adjusted the energy flow, creating a barrier that deflected the attack. Mara's drones fired at the ship's engines, forcing it to retreat. Celine's teams intercepted smaller ships, trying to flank them. Hours passed, and the human counterattack proved effective. Alien ships were damaged or forced to retreat, and the city's defenses held strong. Alex, Mara, and Celine stood on the ridge, watching the aftermath of the battle. "We did it," Alex said, breathing heavily. "The city is safe. For now." Mara nodded, her eyes filled with pride. "Humans are incredible. Even when outnumbered, we find a way to fight back." Celine placed a hand on Alex's shoulder. "Your ingenuity saved lives today. Humans are not the strongest species, but our ability to adapt, learn, and work together makes us formidable." Alex felt a surge of pride. They had faced impossible odds and emerged victorious, not because of raw strength, but because of courage, creativity, and teamwork. Humans could face any challenge, no matter how advanced or powerful the enemy. But Celine's eyes darkened. "This is only the beginning. The aliens are intelligent. They'll return, stronger and smarter. We must prepare for what's next." Alex nodded, determination rising inside him. "Then we'll be ready. Humans don't give up. We adapt, we learn, and we fight back. No matter what comes." Mara smiled. "And we do it together. Humans are unstoppable when we work as one." The city glowed under the protective shields, battered but alive. From the ridge, Alex could see the people repairing buildings, tending to the wounded, and preparing for future attacks. Humans were not just surviving, they were thriving, proving their resilience and ingenuity to the universe. Celine looked at the horizon, where the alien fleet had retreated. "We've won today, but the war is far from over. Next time, it will be different, but so will we." Alex watched her, understanding the weight of her words. Humans had faced impossible odds before, and they would face them again. But as long as they had courage, ingenuity, and each other, they would endure. And in that moment, Alex knew something powerful. Humans were more than just survivors. They were thinkers, innovators, and fighters. They could face any enemy, adapt to any situation, and find a way to triumph because that was the essence of humanity. As the sun set over the city, casting long shadows across the battlefield, Alex, Mara, and Celine stood together. The aliens had been repelled, the city protected, and the prototype secured. Yet, the horizon hinted at future challenges, waiting for humans to meet them head-on. And they would. The city was quiet now. But the silence was not peace. It was a brief pause, a moment to catch breath before the unknown dangers returned. Alex, Mara, and Celine stood atop the northern ridge, overlooking the urban expanse below. Buildings were damaged, streets scarred, and smoke still rose in the distance. But life persisted. Humans moved among the rubble, repairing, organizing, and tending to the wounded. Drones hovered steadily, keeping watch for any returning alien scouts. The prototype's soft blue glow illuminated the area, a reminder of the ingenuity and courage that had turned the tide of battle. Celine broke the silence. Today, we showed them what humans are capable of. But we cannot be complacent. The aliens will learn from their defeat. Next time, they will come smarter and stronger. Alex nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing on his shoulders. He had helped adjust the prototype, guided energy corridors, and played a crucial role in the counterattack. He realized that humans might not have been the fastest or the strongest species in the galaxy, but they were clever, creative, and resilient in ways no alien intelligence could predict. Mara stepped beside him, her eyes reflecting both relief and determination. They underestimated us. They thought superior technology was enough. They forgot that humans can think differently, adapt quickly, and use teamwork in ways machines cannot anticipate. Alex smiled faintly. I think we've proven that today. Celine studied him for a moment. Not just today. This battle is over. But the war isn't. That's why I'm glad you're here. Alex, humans like you, quick thinkers, brave, resourceful, are what make our species extraordinary. Alex felt a sense of pride wash over him. He had been terrified when this all started. But now he understood something powerful. Humanity's strength wasn't just in technology or weapons. It was in their courage, their creativity, and their willingness to fight for each other. The three of them descended into the city, moving through streets filled with citizens and defense teams. Alex watched engineers repairing broken energy lines, volunteers distributing supplies, and pilots preparing hovercraft for patrols. The human spirit was alive and unbroken, even under the shadow of an alien threat. Celine guided them to a command center inside the city, where a large holographic map displayed the current status of defenses and remaining alien forces. The city's energy shields were holding, and the prototype had been stabilized and fortified. Alex adjusted some minor calibrations, ensuring the energy corridors would remain operational in case of a renewed attack. Mara leaned over the map. The aliens retreated, but their fleet was still visible in the outer atmosphere. They're damaged, but they haven't given up. We need a plan for next time. Alex thought for a moment. We can use the terrain and energy corridors to predict their movements. If we combine the drones, turrets, and human pilots in a coordinated strike, we can not just defend, we can force them into positions where their technology becomes a disadvantage. Celine's eyes brightened. Exactly. That's human thinking. Adapt, anticipate, and turn every weakness into strength. That's why we survive and thrive against odds that seem impossible. Over the next few hours, they worked tirelessly. Mara and Alex coordinated drone patterns, recalibrated energy corridors, and optimized the prototype's defenses. Celine trained volunteers, organized patrols, and developed strategies to counter any alien tactics. Humans from all over the city joined in, offering skills, ideas, and energy. Even civilians who had never held a weapon before contributed to the defense, proving once again that ingenuity and courage were not limited to soldiers or scientists, they were human traits. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the city, Alex took a moment to look around. For the first time since the attack began, he felt hope. Humans had faced a threat far superior in strength and technology, yet they had held their ground. They had adapted, innovated, and fought back with everything they had. Mara joined him, placing a hand on his shoulder. We've done more than survive today. We've shown the aliens, and ourselves, that humans are not just survivors. We're thinkers, innovators, and fighters. Alex nodded. We've proved that courage and ingenuity are stronger than any weapon. Humans never give up, and we never stop learning. Load. Done. Selene approached them, her expression serious but proud. Remember this moment. Remember what humans can accomplish when we work together. The aliens may return, but next time, we'll be ready. And when they come, they'll face a species that refuses to surrender. Alex smiled. We'll be ready. Humans don't just face challenges. We overcome them. The city around them continued to recover. Citizens rebuilt structures, engineers repaired energy grids, and defense teams patrolled the skies. Even in the aftermath of chaos, life moved forward. Humans had faced destruction and fear and emerged stronger, more united, and more determined than ever. Selene looked at Alex and Mara, a rare smile appearing on her face. Today, you both played a key role in protecting this city. You've shown courage, creativity, and determination. You've earned a place among those who defend humanity. Alex felt a surge of pride. He had started the day thinking he was just an engineer visiting his girlfriend. But now he understood that every human, no matter their role, could make a difference. Mara looked at him, her eyes reflecting admiration and gratitude. We did this together. Humans never fight alone, and we never give up. That's why we succeed. The three of them walked to the city's main square, where a group of citizens had gathered to celebrate the temporary victory. Flags waved, drones hovered overhead, and the air was filled with cheers. Humans had survived the impossible once again, and their unity and ingenuity were the reason. Alex looked up at the night sky, where distant alien ships could still be seen retreating. He knew this was only a temporary victory, but it was a powerful reminder of human strength. Humans might not have the largest fleet or the deadliest weapons, but they had something the aliens could never replicate: adaptability, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit. Mara squeezed his hand. The battle may be over for now, but the war isn't. And when it comes back, humans will be ready. Alex nodded, determination in his eyes. We'll be ready, because humans don't just survive. We thrive. We adapt, we fight, and we never give up. That's who we are. Selene stood beside them, looking at the city. This victory belongs to everyone. Every engineer, every pilot, every volunteer. They've all shown what it means to be human. Remember this lesson. Humanity's greatest weapon is its courage and ingenuity. Alex and Mara exchanged a glance, feeling the truth in her words. They had faced fear, chaos, and a superior enemy, and humans had prevailed. As the city lights glimmered beneath the twin sun's last rays, Alex knew that humanity's story was far from over. Alien threats might come again, but humans would continue to adapt, innovate, and fight for their home. And in that moment, he realized something extraordinary. Humans were not just survivors. They were pioneers, thinkers, and warriors. They could face any challenge, overcome any obstacle, and rise stronger each time. The night was calm, but the stars above hinted at countless possibilities and countless challenges. Yet humans, with their courage, creativity, and unity, would face the future with strength, hope, and determination. Alex, Mara, and Selene stood together, watching the city they had helped protect. They had faced the impossible and proved that humans were not to be underestimated. And somewhere out there, beyond the stars, alien ships waited, but humans were ready. Humans always were.